Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that the entire opposition team led by Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka went to Malava to help George Natembeya in doing the campaigns.
Mimi niseme hakika hadharani hapa na mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu, I am supporting this man because mimi I am 100% sure he is a quality candidate.
And in fact, they conducted very successful rallies across the entire constituency.
Ningependa kutangaza kama iko mtu yoyote hapa amepanga kuharibu mkutano wetu, ajue atatoka hapa shekenyi.
Dr. Okengo Fred Matiang'i was present. Dr. Stephen Kalonzo Musyoka himself was present. Eugene Wamalwa was there. Cleophas Malala was there. And Riggy virtually attended that function by addressing the crowd through a phone call.
Hello? Yes, Your Excellency, tuko Malava na wananchi wanakusikia.
Malava we. Watu wa Malava mjambo.
Now, after these people had left there, George Natembeya proceeded with his campaigns, and he traveled to Kabuchai to do his campaigns for a by-election that is that region. Something strange and horrible happened. As he was on top of the car addressing the people, gunshots were heard all over. And actually, George Natembeya's cars were seriously vandalized. It's also alleged that the house that belongs to one of the allies of George Natembeya was also seriously vandalized by some goons who were allegedly brought by Moses Masika Wetangula.
Ati mtu anaitwa Speaker wa Kenya, Moses Wetangula, amechukua goons, wamevamia komando Natembeya. Wetangula amechukua wakora na thugs, wameenda kwa boma ya Mchumbe, Wakabuchai Kalasinga, wamepiga boma yake, wameharibu kabisa.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is something that we must castigate as a country, that if you feel that someone has a contrary opinion to yours, there's no need of unleashing goons on them. There is no need for you to just come out and see people get hurt for you to feel happy. You can survive in politics without necessarily killing people, hurting people, gunshots, and maiming other Kenyans who probably have people depend on them. Now, but from the entire incident at Kabuchai, one thing I have to state it here is that it elevated George Natembeya to a level that most people like now, Moses Wetangula, might not believe. First, Natembeya did not run away. Despite of the gunshots and the goons that were there, Natembeya was successfully able to conduct his rallies at Kabuchai.
Wala ambao wao mnaenda mnaongea na Wetangula, enda ambia Wetangula kwamba Natembeya amepigana na majangili Rift Valley, amepigana na majangili Isiolo, amepigana na watu ambao wanabeba bomu. Asiniletee watoto kuja kunipiga mimi na mipini. Mwambie yeye blood factor, ambie yeye kumbavu, sema Wetangula kumbavu.
And that portrayed him as one of the most courageous loyal leaders. In fact, as I told you before, I hold some discussions at my channel here, which start at exactly 10 and beyond until 12 sometimes. In this discussion, I have lawyers, and I hear the language they speak in relation to George Natembeya. So when this incident happened, people say that George Natembeya has appeared to be very courageous, first of all. Second of all, he attracted some sympathy from the people of Western region. So people are saying that George Natembeya is targeted by his opponents like Moses Masika Wetangula. In a nutshell, they have elevated him instead of downgrading him. And that was a shame, I think, to the people who participated in the goonism that was witnessed at Kabuchai. Nevertheless, from this entire scenario, I was also able to observe a few things. And that's what I want to take you through here on this particular video. But before I do so, if this is the first time you're watching my videos at Mokwa Times, allow me to take a second or two to subscribe. Kindly take a second or two to subscribe, like and comment, because that is the best support you can always give this channel. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, to just simply explain, when you subscribe, the numbers of the people who follow me goes up. Like right now, I'm at 17,000 subscription mark. But if subscribe, someone else does so, and maybe 1,000 people adds on top, the coverage of this channel goes far. So it really helps me a lot when you subscribe. Please take a second or two to subscribe. For those who want to talk to me and call me, my number is always here. Just hit me up. And for those who want to support the channel, that's the same number. Without much wasting of time, allow me dive into this topic here today. What are some of these things I was able to observe from the attack on George Natembeya? Number one, this was a great sign of fear. Fear in the sense that some people like Moses Maseko Wetangula, they have felt like we are losing it. We are losing it. And there's no way we can allow someone like George Natembeya to do campaigns successfully than us. So this fear that George Natembeya is taking over has seriously made them to go to an extent where they have to unleash goons to go and destroy the rallies that were conducted by George Natembeya. And it's fear because when someone pulls crowds at your home and you cannot do the same thing, you can only depend on a function, maybe a funeral, a church function, then that means you have to develop fear. So that is what basically happened. The only embarrassing scenario here, it is where you've been in politics for more than 30 years, and the best thing that you can do is to go get goons to come and disrupt rallies which were successfully organized by someone who has been in politics for just 3 years. So embarrassing. Now, another thing that I was able to learn from this particular function, or maybe for this particular incident, is this. There is some defeat that has been sensed in the Western Kenya region. If you see the way Farouk Bet has camped Malava constituency, you can tell that things are not the same again. There is fear that they are going to lose this election. And there is fear other methods like stealing of elections might not work because of simply the mechanisms that the opposition team led by George Natembeya have put in Western Kenya. Ladies and gentlemen, money has been pumped to Malava. Opposition leaders have been there to Malava. The president has visited Malava. But still, all these things have not been able to work against George Natembeya. So they have sensed some serious defeat because the ground is seriously resonating in support of George Natembeya. The other observation you can make from this entire incident is serious frustration. I'm feeling that the moment Moses Wetangula, Wycliffe, Musalia, they are trying to do something, it fails. They're trying to go left, it's blocked. Trying to go right, it's blocked. Trying all methods. You know, the only thing that they have been having, that they have been telling the people of Western Kenya, it's about their seats in the government. Someone being a speaker and one being a cabinet secretary. So they feel the lawyer community has been helped. But when the lawyer people sit back and look at what is happening at the ground, they realize that the roads promised are not there. The electricity promised yet to be there. So they feel like they have been neglected a lot. And the effect of Moses Wetangula and Wycliffe Musalia being in the government, it is not reflecting the situation at the ground. So therefore, when Moses Masika Wetangula and Wycliffe Musalia Mudavadi come to entice the people to support them because they're in government, it fails. So they are frustrated to an extent that now the only thing that can happen is unleashing their goons to attack George Natembeya. Last but not least, this is a sign of failure. Failure on various fronts. Number one, William Ruto has tasked these people to deliver that seat. Tasked these people to deliver the Western Bloc. But now, if they fail in Malava, fail in Kabuchai, what else are they going to explain to President William Ruto? So it's a huge disappointment that they have failed President William Ruto seriously. So the only thing they are able to bank on right now, it is to disrupt the rallies, create fear, to enable people not to gather or even not to go and vote. That is the only option they are left with right now. The other failure they have witnessed is that of Western Kenya, where they were tasked by the people of Western Kenya in 2022 to deliver development projects to the Western Kenya region. But as we speak today, they have failed. So they are trying to go to people and promise them further. But the fact is the people of Western Kenya have refused to listen to them again. Another way they have failed, it's through being a cabinet secretary and as a speaker. At the individual capacities, they have failed to deliver, both to William Ruto and both to the Western people as we speak today. Hence the frustration, the fear, and also the failure that we've seen right now amongst these leaders from the Western Kenya region. Those are the observations that I was able to make from this particular incident. And I want to take this opportunity to once again castigate Gunism within the Kenyan politics. It is becoming a normal thing in the Kenyan politics. I don't know whether you guys have seen that, but ever since 2022, we've seen goons walking freely, having weapons, doing things the way they feel like, and the politicians embrace them. I don't know what is your take on the comment section. Please share with me what you think.